I mean, Trevor, he's grown up a lot this year. He hasn't got a lot of playing time, other than the garbage time, if you will, at the end of the games and stuff. But he's been improving a lot over the last year. You've been able to see it, and because when he came in, he was a talented kid coming out of high school from Indiana, but this year he's really got a lot more reps, I think, and he's starting to get in shape a little bit more, and I think he's one really good offseason of strength conditioning away from really going out there and dominating guys. So
when you turn on the TV next September or whatever, what do you think you're going to see with this offensive line watching the Hawkeyes?
I'm not sure. I think it's a big offseason for them. I'd like to say I think Logan Jones will be in there. Some of the other centers are doing a good job too, and Dunker, he'll be in the mix too, but just the way they play, I think, is something that's going to be expected to honestly get better.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's really easy, I think, as a person to climb out of a hole when you're down so low, like we had been the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to see with this group, going forward, whenever that time comes, how they respond to the success. Because that really tests, how we are as a team, especially as a unit, and an offensive side of the ball. So,
did you know that Iowa led the Big Ten in rushing this year for the first time since 1960?
I did know that.
Yeah. What do you make of that? And then how do you Nebraska game wasn't the greatest run game.
Yeah.
So how do you alleviate that?
Yeah, the 1960 team was probably pretty good too, because back then they did that and went to the Rose Bowl, because all you did back then was run the ball, I'm sure, most of the time. So, it's an honor, but there's a lot of things we could do better, and I think even coming out of the Nebraska game, I'm sure trust me, that's the best way I could go out ever, is game-winning field goal against those guys. But there's things we could have worked on, and we have throughout this whole entire bowl prep. So. It is exciting to have that, but that's stuff I think 4 weeks from now, maybe 8 weeks, maybe 10 years, we'll look back and say that was awesome. But for now, for this group, it's just about finishing on the last note, that 13th game.
Mason, I don't know if you've seen the video. I think it was Blake Hornstein got it of you emotional for the game against Nebraska.
Yeah.
I guess what was going through your mind in that moment? What were you feeling being your last game at Kinnick?
Yeah, I think the whole week, John Steppe asked me, how was your legacy felt? I was like halfway emotional on Tuesday, and then going into it, I didn't feel that emotional. And then it was just the idea of like swarming out by yourself. I think was the biggest thing, is like the one time you're on your own here, and they bring you in, and you do all the recruiting stuff, and then to run out there, kind of have your moment, get your flowers, if you will, was pretty cool. And for me, I was just thinking about my grandparents and stuff and how proud they'd be of me.
What? Running game without Caleb, how different is it without him in bowl prep here? I mean, he obviously did so much for you guys this year. Is it different?
No, I mean, we run the same plays.
Well, I know
so
that.
If you're asking that.
No, I know. I realize that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the guys are a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit younger than Caleb, and some of the guys, I bet Jazz got more reps than Caleb has his whole career. But, it sucks to see Caleb go. I wish him the best. I want it on the record, he still owes the O-line a dinner, so you guys can hold that to him.
He hasn't done that.
Wow.
He got out of here before, but we'll get him pro day or something like that. So you guys can put that on your timeline or something like that. He still owes us. We want that on the record. And no, we miss him, but I think with this unit, it's not about one guy. It never was, never has been. He was our MVP, but even MVPs, NFL everywhere, they got other guys contributing too. So for us, it's just about playing our best football as a team for one last time.
What have you seen from Els this year, and how have you seen him at center with Logan out?
Yeah, I really feel bad for Logan. I think not the only bright side of this in my mind is Logan is coming back and Els can't. That's the only thing that is beautiful about that to me, is that Els gets his shot, but we're all family, and we feel for Logan. Obviously, he's been waiting for his moment. I know he got in there a few games and had ups and downs, but I think he's ready for this. He's been dying for this, and I think learning the news he's learned in the last month, he's just been ready to go at it, with the group and help lead us out there as a center. So, really excited to see what we can see from him. He's a heck of an athlete, heck of a guy. You can't say a bad thing about him. I think guys are brought into him. You think of our captains, or two of our captains are Lachey and Higgins, and he's always around those guys, and they're always around him too. So, he's infectious, if you will, and, just a great team guy to be around. So, Els has done a good job stepping in all year, his whole career, and, just expect nothing but the same from him.